Everybody, just going to move on with our next lesson on settlement. Okay, just your headings here. You're going to be answering some questions below, so please head up fully. Couple of things. These questions are not an assignment. All right, little review of map skills, and again, there's some really good examples of the types of settlements we'll be looking at or have been talking about. Over the last couple of weeks. Okay, so it's a good way to to review map skills and also start revising. We'll be doing a quiz next Monday in your lesson. Okay, I'll do some review work with you in Friday's lesson. Second of all, I have a list of questions on the next slide. I'll go to that now. Alright, so again you can see here the pages we're using in the map skills book. There are a series of questions which you'll be doing as classwork. They're not an assignment. Do not send them to me. The questions are as follows. On the document I sent out on Sunday, these three were not included. Okay, so please make sure you do include those. Most of these are short answers. You do not have to write the question at all. Okay, they're quite short answers, but please write in full sentences for any that require full sentences. I'll go through the pages of the textbooks now. Okay, we'll be highlighting a little bit, and I have also added every map and picture on this PowerPoint here and in the video to help you. Okay, I have the page, I have the name, the figure number, the page number, and everything here. Okay, we may come back to this, but they're obviously clearer in the book. One other thing I'd just like to add as well, obviously when we get back in September, all right, one of the first things I will be doing is checking everyone's binder to make sure all of this work is in there. All right, not just this classwork, every lesson we've done. Okay, your first grade when we get back will be a review of the work you've done, the notes you've made and kept over the last 7 or 8 weeks. Okay, so I expect all this to be done and in your binder with proper headings and dates. I provided all that for you, so I'm assuming you're using it as you should be. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into page 88, and this shouldn't take too long. The questions, again, I'll try and explain them as best I can to make your work very, very easy. Okay, so on page 88, okay, urban characteristics and fringe development. So what we're looking at is features of urban areas and just fringe development, stuff that happens around the outside of these urban areas. Okay, so we're looking at a place called Cambridge, very famous old historic city or town in England. Okay, famous for its universities and its colleges, so a lot of academics and so on. So Cambridge is one of the UK's most rapidly growing cities. All right, it's a historic city, all about colleges, famous old colleges. Okay, and extremely popular with tourists now. So I've written functions over here. Okay, so its function has changed over time. It's now quite popular with tourists. A lot of people visit for their fine old buildings, historic buildings. It's also a place of academia and education. There are additional city centre functions such as a market town as well, so it's a big market town. Alright. As Cambridge has grown, it has expanded into the surrounding countryside, merging with the once separate villages of so on. Alright. So again, as we know, as a city grows, it expands outwards, and sometimes it swallows up smaller little villages nearby. New roads have been built in Cambridge area to cope with the extra traffic and to redirect through traffic around the city. So again, this is another example of what's happening with settlements around the world. They start to pedestrianize the middle bit. Okay, new roads are built around the area to try and divert traffic away, because remember we said one of the problems cities experience is traffic congestion, air pollution, noise, stuff like that. Okay, so now what they're trying to do is they want to keep Cambridge, but they want to put main roads around it or motorways to try and avoid traffic. Okay, so better transport around the edge of the city is what I've added. So then you need to think about, right, what will happen if there's better transport routes and more space out on the edge of the city? What will companies and factories start to do? They'll relocate out to the edge of the city then. Downtown is too packed and too full. There's better transport, cheaper land, more space on the edges. They relocate there. Okay, so now we can see how our function is changing. One of the most important developments in recent decades, okay, it was the Cambridge Science Park. Now we've looked at business parks and science parks. Okay, a science park again is a large area outside of a city, all right, where a lot of modern kind of like tech companies will set up, all right, pharmaceuticals companies and so on. A lot of them will be doing research. So one thing they need to be near a town where there's a lot of university graduates or people who are highly skilled and educated to work. So Cambridge, its old function, and still today, it's still a place of high education. But now around the edges you get these science parks where people will then go and work. Okay? A science park is a collection of high-tech industries or research institutions, often situated in attractive and well-landscaped surroundings. Okay? So what are the main features of these science parks? Low density surroundings, okay, so lots of open space, up to 60 or so companies who all have close links with each other. So again, you'd have maybe pharmaceutical companies beside medical companies who work together, and then you'll have people developing software and hardware, and then working beside maybe a computer company and so on. All right. The buildings are high quality and offer flexible accommodation, and there's space for continued expansion. So all of this is now happening, and it's a new function on the edge of Cambridge. Okay, so what I've put here is I've said movement away from the city centre. That's what I've written down here. So the movement in Cambridge is out of the city centre to the edges. The first little set of questions we're going to look at is 3 A, B, C, D, and E. Oops, let me just do that. Okay, pretty simple stuff. In what grid square is Cambridge Science Park? Alright, so you'll have to locate that. It says in the text, okay, it's near Milton on the north of the city. So if you look to the north of Cambridge, you'll probably find it. In which direction is the photograph taken in figure 3? So for this question, you're looking at figure 2 and 3, okay? What is the road number of the dual carriageway shown in the photograph? What roads join the dual carriageway at the intersection shown in the photograph? What is the land use shown by the letter X on the photograph? Okay, so again, a lot of them you're looking at the photograph then looking back at the map. So let's have a little look at some of these figures. Okay, so you don't need to use this one to answer the questions from question 3. This is figure 1, just showing the centre of Cambridge. And you can see, okay, it's a very fancy, very well kept place. Narrow little streets, this is downtown. All of these quads here are old universities and colleges. A lot of them are still being used, okay, so it's a very attractive place to live. Okay, so I'm going to skip on to figure 3 here. You can see figure 3, a little bit blurry. It says Cambridge Science Park down the bottom. So one of the questions is to find this on the map. Now I'm actually going to do this for you. Okay, so again, if we just look up at the photo here. Alright, we've got this huge dual carriageway here. We've got this massive big junction and a road coming down. So on the map, we're going to be looking for a big dual carriageway or big motorway with a big roundabout complex coming down. Also, the roads for the science park is this kind of wobbly egg-shaped thing, okay? So on the map, one of your things is to find out where this is, what grid square. Also, you ask what the name of this road is, and so on. So if we jump up a page, okay, let me just pause. Okay, so on page 90, you've got your map of Cambridge, your OS map, okay? We got a scale just down here. You can't see it all in the video. We got our grid numbers come up the side and they go across the top and the bottom. I've actually highlighted where the business site, where the science park is. Okay, so this is the big massive road coming through. Here's your roundabout going through like this, okay? So again, you're asked a series of questions about the different roads, about what some of the land use is used as. I believe in the photo, you're asked to tell me what land use, what X is here. It's this. So here's the big roundabout with the road. We got this area here, this rectangular area as X. You're asked to find out what X is, okay? So you will need to look around on the map here and try and locate it, okay? So again, use the two figures together. I've given you 1 or 2 answers already. You should be able to do the rest yourself, all right? The next little video is going to run through the next two case studies.